Welcome everyone. Merry Christmas. It's December 2024. I'm here again for the last broadcast for the year. As you can see, I've compressed all of the readings into one video today. Please forgive me. I haven't been well this last week. I've got some bronchial problems. It's a bit of an effort even to stop a coughing fit, but for you, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to talk about what I think are some of the pertinent aspects, coupled that I think are very, very important. As usual, I'm going to start the wheel so you can see that the first important transit is the new moon in Sagittarius, and especially for the fire signs, this is going to be very activating. It's a new opening, an opportunity for both setting aright your past karma, that's the 5th house here, and the 9th house of the Aries natural zodiac. 9th house is your future karma. So generally, Sagittarius has to do with expansion of the mind, our philosophical ideals, our political views. Oh, there's been a lot of shit going on there worldwide, especially with the US elections recently. But I think the other important aspect here, again in the fire sign, is the retrograde Mars, which takes place there on the 7th. You can see it moving into its stationary perspective. It appears to be sitting still, and then it's going to appear to be going backwards. This has some very, very important, significant sorts of impact on all of us. Mars is the action planet. You know, the fire signs are creative. Leo especially is larger than life. But here we see the retrogression in the realm of action pulling us back. On top of that, we have this opposition, as you can see, the opposition to Pluto in the air sign of Aquarius. Now, you know what fans the flames of fire? This air. Here we have Venus and Pluto casting their vibrations across the heavens there to the retrograde Mars. So let's take a look at each of the individual signs. I just want to give you a brief synopsis, otherwise I wouldn't feel right. You got to have some Christmas gift, don't you? So just a little on this to, you know, cap off the year before the new year starts. I will be back. Aries, this 5th house is your creativity, it's your love affairs, it's also your past karma, along with Saturn in the 12th house, another past karma sector, resolving some of these past karmic issues that are impacting your relationships, especially your children. 5th house is children. That new moon in Sagittarius is going to activate that Mars in the 5th house. Especially eldest born children will be a bit of a handful probably, depending on their age. There's the moon on the 18th. That's going to impact that strongly for you. But the radical transformation, I think, and I'm going to talk about this more in the new year, is the transformative transit of Pluto in your 11th house of social activities. There's no doubt that your social interactions are going through some tremendous upheaval or change. That's going to intensify. And although that may be, pardon me, a thorn in your side for a while, I think once the dust settles, you'll be very happy that these changes, and in fact, these explosions socially will have put you in a better position once that's happened. Taurus, this retrograde Mars is taking place in your fourth house. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. Fourth house is your property, your mother, your family, and most importantly, your inner peace. So, this retrogression of Mars shows that some of the actions that you wish to implement in the domestic sphere may need to be put on hold for a while. That's going to be very, very frustrating. And we all know that you are not easily subjugated when it comes to change. So here we see the right angle of the sun to your sun sign. For those of you born in the early part of Taurus, this is going to be more impactful because Mars is in the early degrees of Leo. So, resolving these family issues is going to be at the top of your agenda in the last month of 2024. Gemini, third house Mars is your communication. It's your younger siblings. It's your neighborhood. It's the way you think. So Mars can make your thinking angry. It can make you reactive. Fortunately, the retrogression gives you the opportunity. It doesn't always happen, but retrogression empowers the planet. It emboldens it. It makes it stronger in its essential nature. So that aggressive quality of Mars is certainly there, but the retrogression also gives you an opportunity to pull back, to rethink your strategy, to quietly observe the way in which you're making decisions. I think this is an important transit. It's transformative, and for all of you, whenever I talk about Mars right now, keep in mind this reflex action of transformative Mars, transformative Pluto aspecting Mars from this sign of Aquarius. It's going to empower it. It's going to imbue it with a quality that is not just destructive, because Pluto is restorative. It is replenishing. It is the planet of rebirth. So through these actions, through your self-control, through pulling back, in whichever area that I'm mentioning, so for example for you Gemini, in the area of thought, I really should stop the wheel now, we've gone past that December 31st point. Cancer, this is an important transit relating to the value system. What is it that you value? What is it you've been making great effort at? The retrogression shows that you may have to reconsider what your value structures are. What is it that you value? Apart from money, this I've talked about on several occasions through the videos, but for you right now, retrograde Mars in the second house of possessions, earnings, income, in opposition to that powerful Pluto, is going to transform the way you look at your money and give you new insights in how you can capitalize on that. Leo, the retrograde Mars is occurring in your sun sign. For those of you born in that early part of Leo, the first few days of Leo, you have a powerful dose of energy and the ability to direct that where you will. The retrograde motion shows us that you have to contain yourself. There is power in containment throughout this specific transit. There is also the danger of injury, even though Mars is a friendly planet to your sun sign. There may be danger through exceeding your abilities physically. That's by Mars's impact by trine on your 5th house. Don't strain yourself. You don't have to try too hard. And I think the retrogression of Mars for you is giving you an insight into how, quiet assertiveness is more powerful than dominant physical or brute force. The retrograde Mars for you, Virgo, is in the 12th house. Leo happens to fall in the 12th sign. So this is also a very significant karmic position for you, being the 12th house. It activates a lot of your past experiences and how you deal with your suffering, which is related to those past experiences, will be part of this transformative combo of Pluto and Mars influencing this 12th house. There may be some anger that comes up throughout this transit. Mars is angry, Pluto can intensify that somewhat. So you have to be careful not to allow your emotions to get the better of you when thinking about the past, but rather be pragmatic, be stoic, and understand that you can't change what has gone. You can certainly learn from it, but if things can't be changed now, there's no point in beating yourself up to a pulp. Libra, the 11th house, very, very powerful for friendships. Close friends may be in battle with you throughout this period. 11th house, this is your sign. You're also reviewing the past somewhat with the South Node transiting this area of your sun sign. So you're looking back over the past actions of your friends, elder siblings. These can be social or business partnerships, but generally this is more of a social zone. So there can be some combat associated with this. There can be disputes with your spouse or partner too, because Mars rules this 7th house. These arguments can be over shared friendships, jealousy, envy. This is all the domain of the Mars-Pluto opposition. Be careful of that. Talk about it. Be reasonable. The 10th house retrograde Mars is the energy for you, Scorpio. Pulling back or being delayed in some of the projects that you've been excited about. You're putting a lot of energy into your work right now, but not getting the results that you'd expected. So be patient. The retrograde planets ultimately do go forward again. I'll be addressing some of these issues for you in the new year. But certainly Mars in your 10th house has some great, what we call directional strength. It gives power, it gives authority, and you can get a lot done through this period if you're focused in your attention. Ninth house Sagittarius is the retrogression of Mars, your beliefs, your educational pursuits. Some journey you may have planned, a holiday may have to be changed, even postponed for a while, if there are some issues surrounding other areas of your life. You may need to give some priority to that. This also talks about reevaluating your belief systems, your traditional beliefs, your religious philosophy. And because Mars is a combative planet, as I've mentioned for some of the other signs, this may draw you into arguments over philosophical differences. You have an option here: sit back, listen and learn, or rather beat people over the head with your own brand of philosophy. It's better to be balanced and accept that we don't know everything, and you can always be receptive and open to what's on offer by the other person. The 8th house is a difficult house, along with the 12th house. So Capricorn, the interesting position of the transit of the Sun ruling your 8th house of Leo in your sun sign, and simultaneously having Mars transiting that 8th house, shows us that you have some real issues with shared resources, other people's money. There could be arguments over money, over what's owed to you. And this may have something to do with some insecurities that you're suffering, or that are coming to the surface right now, because this 8th house has to do with that as well. Banking, insurance, long-term savings, these are all under the governance of this 8th house, and will come into full view throughout the month of December 2024. Relationships are really under the microscope for you, Aquarius, with this powerful Mars-Pluto opposition. Please do excuse me, I told you I'm sick. I wasn't bullshitting you. Mars in the 7th house, there can be some tension there with your partner. Also, your partner may be pulling back a little bit in terms of their physical demonstrativeness. Just be patient. We go through all these different cycles, and sometimes our cycles aren't aligned. So you have to be patient, you have to be receptive, you have to be sensitive, open and willing to be there for your partner right now, rather than arguing your differences. Pisces, the 6th house has to do with your work. It also has to do with your diet. Mars rules your 2nd house of food. It also has to do with your speech, and therefore 6th house, which is a house of enmity, house of sickness and disease and debts, is not always a great place to have this planet, especially in retrogression. Generally, the malefic planets like Mars, the Sun, Saturn in the 6th house do well, but they are inherently problematic by their nature, so you may have to fight for the benefits that you get in your workplace. There could be some differences of opinion in terms of work style, work ethic, and that's also philosophical, as I mentioned earlier, with signs like Leo and Sagittarius. So listen to the other person's perspective. Put your views on the table, but don't expect people to accept them wholeheartedly. Compromise is your key word for December. Now, I'm going to have to finish up. The cough is starting. I'm getting into that downward mode physically right now. I hope I've been able to give you at least a little insight this month. Again, Merry Christmas, but don't forget, before you leave, give us our Christmas gift, which is just simply press the subscribe button. Travel on over there to astrology.com.au. As usual, we've got some more information for you on the month of December, but we've also started to put together the yearly horoscopes for 2025. Over the next week or so, we're going to be updating that. You'll have an opportunity to see what the coming year holds in store for you. Of course, we've got our monthly, our weekly and daily forecasts, along with lots of free psychic readings there. Avail yourself of that. And of course, don't be shy. Drop me a line if you wish. If you're looking to find out what's happening in 2025, I'm more than happy to sit down with you face to face and give you the insights based upon your personal horoscope, the time, the date, place you were born. I'm looking forward to that. Drop me a note. Till next year, stay safe. Enjoy Christmas. I hope Santa brings you everything you desire. Take care for now. Bye-bye.